Hi, this is CJ with another Pinnacle Studio tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you all the different ways you can add and customize transitions. Now, I haven't added any video clips yet because before we get started, there's something we need to do first, and that is set up our default settings so that all our transitions will automatically be added to our timeline with the duration time we want. So to do this, click on Setup, Control Panel, and then from here we go to Project Settings. Now here you can change the defaults for many of your project's settings, but for this tutorial, we're going to focus on the default duration for transitions. So I'm going to change this from 1 second to 2 seconds. By doing this, it means that every time I add a new transition on the timeline, it will automatically have a 2-second duration length, so I won't have to manually change each one. When you're done, just click Apply, then OK. So now I have all the clips on my timeline, including pictures and videos. Now I'm ready to start adding transitions. There are several different ways we can add transitions, but let's start with the most basic way. Go to the left navigation bar and click on the Thunderball. This is the transitions icon. From here you have a vast array of transitions to choose from. If you click on transitions at the top, it will show you all of your transitions options. These options will vary depending on the version of Pinnacle Studio that you have. I'm going to select standard transitions. Now I'm going to scroll down I'll select the center and wipe transition. Now to preview before adding to the timeline, just click on the transition and press play in the preview pane. Now if you really like the transition and want to make sure you can access it easily for future projects, you can add it to your favorites list by clicking on the transition and selecting Add to Favorites. Now if you go back to the Transitions tab, you can select Favorite to see all the transitions you've added. And since I've only added one, it's going to show just one. Now there's a few different ways I can add this transition to my timeline. I can drag this transition from the library and place it in between the two clips I want to transition, just like this. Hold down the left mouse button and drop it. Now you can see that there's an icon there between the two clips and even shows you a small image of the transition. Now another way to add transitions is to drag your playhead to where you want to add the transition on your timeline. Then right click on a transition. Let me go back here. Now right click on a transition and select Send to Timeline. Now you'll see that a new transition has been added where you had your playhead. Now if I want to remove a transition, I can right click on it then click, go to transition, and then click remove. Also on this drop down menu, you can click replace by, go to transition, replace by, and choose one of your recently used transitions. Another way to replace transitions is to right-click on one from your transitions library, drag it over top in the transition, now if you want to show something else, now I want to show you something else you can do, but first let's remove all the transitions by left clicking and dragging and mine doesn't do that. So what you can do is hold down the control key on your keyboard and click each clip to select all of them. This highlights all the clips on AV track 2. Then right click on one of the transitions, or actually right click on one of the clips and select remove transitions. Now I'm going to drag a transition onto the first clip of my timeline. Now let's say I really like this transition and I want to use it between each media clip. Now again, I'll highlight all my media. Right click on the transition, go to transition, and select ripple. This will cause a ripple effect down the timeline, and this transition has now been applied between each clip. A more advanced way to edit transitions is to right click on the transition you want to edit, and this will bring up a more complex editor, and click on edit. You can now play around with these settings to change the placement of the transition, and you can scroll down to see other options. And of course mine isn't working. Well, you can scroll down to see other options, and depending on the transition, you might be able to adjust the softness or even add a colored border. And with this transition, I can't do so. Now going back to the timeline, I'm going to click on the last clip of my timeline. And here I can add a quick fade or dissolve transition by hovering over the end of the clip. First, I need to remove this transition. Now I just hover over the corner of it until I see a little arrow that pops up. Then clicking and dragging it to the left to create a nice fade. You can adjust any of the other transitions on your timeline in the same way. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and please leave a like. I'm CJ, thanks for watching, and God bless.